Hey everyone, it's Charlie. It is Friday, May 8th, and I want to talk about stress tests and unemployment numbers. First of all, today was optimism overload. If you listen to any financial news at all, we are out of this. It isn't green shoots anymore. It is a full blown hedge that of economic growth. What? I don't know what that means. Anyway, because of these stress tests, and I just want to go over a few details on it. $75 billion more dollars in capital is what these banks are going to have to come up with. And there's several ways of doing it. They can sell more stock. So, if you're inclined to lose more money, go ahead and buy some of that. They can outright get more TARP money, or they can convert some preferred share to common. That's a scary one, for me anyway, because what that's going to do is they're going to take the collateral that they had given the U.S. government for these TARP loans, and which we got their interest-bearing shares, and convert them to common. We don't get interest payments on it anymore. But the government ends up with a voting right in these financial institutions. Now, that is called nationalizing a bank. You end up with a voting, and I think in a lot of these cases they're going to end up with majority voting in it. So anyway, whatever. I mean, that, in my opinion, is the end goal anyway, is to get more government control of our financial institutions. And they just want to do it backdoor style. But the $75 billion is a fantasy because the criteria for that is absolutely ridiculous in the extreme. The adverse conditions that they're talking about are 8.9% unemployment for 2009, 10.3% for 2010, and $180 billion in mortgage losses. So, and a few other details, which are, the biggest one that I want to talk about is that 8.9% unemployment rate, because with today's announcement from the government, that's exactly what we're at as of now. As of the end of April, the United States has an 8.9% unemployment rate. That's using the U3 bogus government number. But since that's what they use in the stress test, that's what we'll talk about. If we lose one more job, according to the stress test, we're going to end up in the more severe scenario. And that number is of capital needed, will be up to $600 billion in the next 2 years. That's a scary number, right? I think so. But I don't think it's going to stop there. I think we're looking at trillions more, personally. Like I said, it was Optimism Friday, and if you listen to some of the pinheads on these cable news channels talking about the economy today, you would think that we're in a boom cycle. I mean, I've actually heard two people today say that we are now have entered a bull market. The bear is dead. This isn't a bull run in a bear market. No, this is an actual bull market. We're going to see Dow 10,000 in no time, which we probably will, but it's going to be fake. I mean, nominally it's going to be at 10,000. The reality of it is the dollar continued to tank this week. The 10-year yield, they had a 30-year sale yesterday. Nobody wanted it. A 10-year the day before that, nobody wanted it. So now the 10-year yield's at 3 1/3. When they announced quantitative easing, $300 billion worth, it dropped to 2.54, I believe. And now here we are a month and a half later, and $100 billion of our own debt bought, and it's at 3.3, which is going to kill the economy. It's going to cause interest rates on everything to go up and stifle the economy even more. So, and the big question is, if 531,000 jobs are announced that are lost, now you got to take into account that seasonally adjusted, that gives you 60,000 either way, and 60,000 of those jobs were census jobs. that the Bureau of Census hired. These are temporary jobs. They do not benefit the economy at all. They actually end up being a draw and more of a social expense than anything. And then along with today's announcement, they revised up February and March by 30,000 more jobs lost each month. 30,000 more in February and in March. So the real totals are 681,000 for February, 699,000 for March, and then 531,000 for April. You know that in June, when May's numbers come out, they will adjust April's back up as well. So I don't see anything that is remotely optimistic, in my opinion anyway. Maybe you're different. Maybe you are buying into this optimism orgy that's going on. I don't know why I said that, but whatever. So anyway, if you have a job, congratulations, because even by government hyped numbers, 500,000 Americans don't that had them last month. And think about that. We're celebrating it. We're calling a bottom. We're calling the end of the recession when the city of Denver just lost. That many people just lost their jobs last month. Boston, out of work. So I don't know. I mean, it's almost unbelievable, and what's even more unbelievable is the amount of people who are just lapping this up. I don't know. I think what it is these guys on the cable news channels talk about the financial sector like that is Main Street, and if these banks are solid, they're not giving that money out. They're not lending it out. It's not creating any jobs. We're still losing them at record pace. There's more people continually on unemployment. Every week it goes up to a brand new record level. So anyway, I'm not going to harp on that. I just wanted to put out some thoughts I had on the stress test and unemployment numbers, and China. I wanted to put in there real quick. 2 statements made this week about they're getting sick of the way we're treating their investment, which they hold $1 trillion in reserves. So that's why you see them buying up more commodities and whatnot. They want to exit the dollar, and with the more rhetoric that they're putting out there, it makes me think that they're going to ramp up how quick they get out of the dollar. They're going to lose. I mean, they've lost faith in it. I think they've been trying to slowly exit out of it, but I see them ramping that up. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later.